Hey Max, day 35 for something, whatever. I just wanted to, you were talking about a challenge and, something you need to do. Well, I've been watching your fly tying videos and quite honestly, you're rocking it. You're doing really well. Um, and that's just not idle chat. I've done this for many years, decades. I've tied flies professionally and I'm seeing what you're doing and I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. One of the things that bugs me to no end that you do is you use a bloody whip finisher and you break your thread off. You don't cut it. You've got these. I know you have. It's all about muscle memory, right? Get a big pair that will hang on your thumb. And they just hang there. And I will put these on and I'll do everything I need to do. When I'm ready to cut, got them right there. So, first thing, hang your bloody scissors from your thumb. And I know I've taught a lot of classes doing this. Now I'm going to use a really thick floss so you can see what I'm doing. And the hook I've got here is a 8369, a Mustad 83690. It's a salmon fly hook here in New Brunswick. Obviously Atlantic salmon is a big deal, and this is a standard hook. And this is a very cheap, very crappy Integra vise. My good one, my Regal, got lost. How does a $300 vise get lost, you ask? Ask my frickin' brother. I think he still has it. And if you ever have the quid set aside, buy a Regal vise. So, I'm going to show you a little trick. Get rid of that friggin' whip finisher. So, just start up a standard. Oh, the other thing you do is you and I really loathe criticizing what you're doing. I don't want to criticize what you're doing because you're doing great. But you have this. That's not how you do it. You have your thread as close as possible. Okay, so I'm ready to tie. I can put whatever I want on here. But what I wanted to show you is I'm ready to finish. And you're going to see this thing. It's got a great big gouge out of it, so it doesn't really roll off the bobbin well. But we'll figure it out. But I'm going to show you a whip finish with the scissors. Done. Done. That's it. You'll see that again? I'll do it in slow motion almost. Okay. Back of the hand. Just like your whip finisher you're using. Back of your hand. Roll it. I'm still on the same side of the hook. I got the thread coming out of the underside of the hook. I'm just going to roll it over the back of my hand and make that loop. So there's the barrel of the bobbin, making the loop, lifting my index finger, I'm tightening it up against the hook shank, and I'm just making loops around the eye of the hook. And then just pull it tight, boom. And sometimes if you're using really thin thread, this is what I normally use. I use 8/0. And this is hair thin, and I tie everything with 8/0 because I have better control over the amount of material at the head of the fly. But once again, back of the hand, around, just did a little loop around. So now this is your whip finisher. Now your hand against it, once around, once around, once around. And if you're using fine thread, take the point of your scissors, lay them in there, boom, boom. So you do like 10 whip finishes. Yeah, you do 5. 5 is more than enough. 3, the professionals, not that I'm a professional, but I've done it professionally, so whatever. 3. And then we put head cement on, which you don't do. I can understand with the elk hair caddis. You really can't on an elk hair caddis, but everything else, you put down head cement and you let that dry, and 3 is done. And as I said, when I do it now, I do it for pleasure. nothing but pleasure. But when I was doing it professionally and I was getting an elk hair caddis, it took me about a minute, and I'd throw that on the shelf. And you do that for 8 hours a day. It's a little mind-numbing. It goes from a great hobby that I learned when I was 12 years old, and I'm 53 now, and to doing it professionally. It goes from a hobby and a pastime to work. So when I left the industry, I was kind of happy to see the backside of it. But as you can see, tight, it's tight, it's not going to come off. And let's face it, if you catch a fish on a fly and the fly falls apart, nobody's bringing it back to your shop. They won't, because they caught a fish on it. They'll come back to your shop and they'll buy another one. They don't care if it doesn't last. In fact, a fly that gets chewed up a bit, especially for trout. Oh, and especially the elk hair caddis, because that thing, it's a bomb. It works from the west coast to the east coast, and if it gets chewed up a little, beaten off the rocks, bitten by trout, messed up, looking awful, then it's working its best. And I like that fly because you can fish it top water or subsurface, whatever your fly's doing, that's what you fish it. Now, my challenge to you, because you're still looking for a challenge, and you're not going to go to the bothy and carve a waiting staff, because it's too fucking cold, learn to do a whip finish with your hand. Use scissors. Go raid your wife's nail polish and use that for head cement. Your flies will last longer, and you know, hey, it's all about the process, buddy. All about the process, and you're doing good. Anyways, enjoy your night. See ya.